Yeah, let the doctor go.
Keep going? Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? Okay, all right.
You want to fight?
Well, they're asking Claudia if he wants to continue. You saw one of the ringside physicians in there also questioning Claudia. He nods his head positively. He wants to continue.
You know, the game plan now kind of is for them to have him on the outside, paw with a jab and throw right hand. There's another way to go about this, and that is for him to stay on the inside. Oh, I spoke by Claudia. For him to stay on the inside where he can land that little counter right hand. So, you know, there's two schools of thought at work here, or could be.
What appears to be an extremely close fight.
Whatever happens in this fight, Joshua Clottey is deserving at some point in life of another opportunity at a world championship. You have to say that.
Here's a look at press row. Shows you how close this thing is. One guy has it even. One for Clottey, one for Margarito.
Very tricky. I've got Margarito now ahead by 2 points. But again, you could see a wide variance in the scoring. But we have 2 more rounds left, of course, for somebody to take further control. Now, this is a close round right now. Clottey has been a little more active than he was in the last couple of rounds.
The winner of this fight is obligated to take on the #1 mandatory, Paul the Punisher Williams,
who's a very, very talented fighter who has often been compared with Tommy Hearns at a young age. Look at how Margarito squares himself up. Clottey should be able to take advantage of that, but has not been able to in the last round or two like he was earlier in the fight.
Rumor has it that Williams gave Margarito fits in sparring sessions. There's a right hand followed by left and another right by Joshua Clottey. And a good body shot with the left hand by Margarito. And that backs Clottey up.
Look at Margarito just square himself up. That is a serious flaw. There's the head again being used by Clottey. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself whether that's intentional or not.
Benji Estevez didn't do anything about it. And he seemed to be looking right at it. He may have said something to Clottey. I couldn't tell.
It's a pivotal round, but the activity of Margarito makes it very tough to score it for Clottey, though Clottey did some good work early in the round.
But Clottey's certainly not running around or dancing. I don't think he enjoyed the crowd reaction. And he's just not that kind of fighter, so he is sticking it out here.
Antonio Margarito is winning this round. He might well be on his way to winning this fight. His strategic and technical liabilities, though, don't bode well for him in future fights. He makes himself too easy a target to people. He has defensive problems that can be exploited.
Yeah, if he gets in there with a guy like, Williams or even down the road, Cotto, could be exposed. Or Quintana.
Move it. Cut slide.
Don't worry, just go around.
Go around.
Okay?
That's right, baby. That's right.
When you jab and move your hand and use the right. My answer.
There have been a number of clashes.
Don't stop for it. You got to move.
Is it intentional or not? In round 10, wow, that looked fairly intentional by Joshua Clottey, especially when you see it from that angle. And then in round 11, that scene would repeat itself. And we'll take a look. Now that, to me, was just him punching his way in, and then the head kind of blasted off to the right.
Now this is interesting, Al. Margarito's been 12 rounds only once in his career. He's 1-0, beat Danny Perez in 0-2. Clottey, 2 times. He's 2-0 versus Gutierrez. His last fight, a majority decision. He looked very good, Clottey. And a fellow named Marciano Comey back in 1995. So both do not have a heck of a lot of experience going the distance 12 rounds.
Margarito has been active throughout all these 12 rounds. So this is a young man who, with that layoff, at age 28, after 13 years of boxing, shows his dedication by doing the work necessary to be able to throw punches for 12 rounds. He is a true professional, and it stood him in good stead in this fight. Oh, a couple of low blows by Margarito, so his body work strays a little low. But that's the other thing about Margarito in this fight. He has really done good body work, as Clottey did early in the fight.
And press throw through 11. 2 out of 3 have Margarito, but look at the score by Sanchez. He's got Margarito up 5 points, and one guy has Clottey ahead. So you see the disparity.
I have Margarito by 3 right now. And again, it could vary a bit. Now, Clottey needs to do something dramatic here. And one of the possibilities is to try and lure Margarito in to throw that counter right that he was throwing earlier. But he's not throwing that punch very much. So you have to wonder also whether Clottey, discouraged, tired, just not in the mood, in the winning mode, more in the surviving mode.
Clottey started complaining of his injured left hand at round 5. He just wasn't the same, but boy, was he something through the first 4+ rounds.
Well, there's a nice combination by Clottey, but he's not able to throw those off. Yeah, this is 2 different fights. Clottey over the first 4 rounds, I thought he won every single round, and since then has not been the same fighter. Margarito has stayed busy throughout this fight.
And there were very anxious moments early on and towards the middle of the fight in the Margarito corner. They were worried. There was no question about it.
Come on. Let's talk, Tony. Let's go.
But things really changing, and we can only assume there's a left hand by Clottey, then a right uppercut on the inside by Clottey. Clottey at least trying to finish strong here. We can only assume it's all because of the injured left hand claimed by Clottey.
Let him out.
Clottey landed a pretty good counter right a moment or 2 ago. He's had a little bit of a better 12 round, but Antonio Margarito's work rate and punch output is probably one in this round as well. And you have to give a lot of props to Margarito for the fact that he's able to stay busy through this whole fight.
And that's it. They embrace, show good sportsmanship. And the crowd showing its appreciation. Margarito is hoisted in the air. Did he defend his title? You see Clottey grimacing as they grab the left glove. I think Antonio Margarito relieved that this one is behind him. Particularly the way it began.
All over with the combination. My hands. Yeah.
Finger or hand?
Hand. That's all. 2, other 2. Both hands. Yeah. The left one first, and then the other. Where's the left hand? Where's the left one? Corner.
Well, they got the left glove off now.
All right? Yeah, I'm all right. And then the right hand by the 7. Your left hand in the forearm, and then your right hand in the...
And standing by is Carlos Quintana, getting ready for the biggest stage and biggest fight of his career. The southpaw getting his first shot at a world title against Miguel Cotto. You hear the crowd reaction again as they see Quintana up on the big screen in our second co-main event coming up. Cotto Quintana for the vacant WBA welterweight crown. Both Quintana and Cotto are undefeated, both from Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, we await the decision in our first co-main event. Antonio Margarito, who got off to a sluggish start in this fight, which is nothing new for him, but seemed even a little tougher under the circumstances. He hadn't fought in 10 months and had very little action in the last couple of years. So looks like we are set for the decision right now. So let's get it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Eugene Grant, scores about 118 to 109. Judges John Stewart and Paul Venti both scored about 116 to 112. All three in favor of the winner. And still champion Antonio Tony Margarito.
Well, it was pretty clear that Margarito was pulling away from the 5th round on, and it turns out that he wins a unanimous decision over Joshua Clyde.
Yeah, I think 118-109, way too big a spread.